Welcome back to Identity 101. We're on level 6 now, personality. And the question I'd like to open this with is, who is your favorite person and why? Now I've tried to think of my favorite person so I could tell you about them, tell you some stories. And it turns out I don't really have a favorite person right now, but there are a lot of people who I love, who I respect, who I adore and enjoy. So I guess I'd say I have a lot of favorite people. And when I think about why I like them so much, it all really boils down to two things. It's how they act, how they behave, and their attitudes. You know, their state of mind, frame of mind, perspectives. And the one word that sums all that up is personality. It's the study of behavior and I guess your attitudes as well. So let's find out what your personality is. First off, you should know that there's such a thing people call personality types. And these are kind of broad groupings of traits, and some people list 5 in them. I know I've got 11 here in this book. By the way, I'm using this from a reference. True You, the simple art of seeing who you really are. You can find this at uoflife.com/books. I published this 2 years ago. It's pretty good too, by the way, quick ad. Stories, examples, exercises, a lot of insightful stuff. If you like this course, you'll love this book, so you should get it. uoflife.com/books. But some of these personality types are, for example, openness to experience. So you're the kind of person who has lots of interests, or do you kind of stick with your comfort zone? You're not really interested in going outside of that. Conscientiousness, are you like everything that's worth doing is worth doing right? Or are you more spontaneous, like, hey, let's just go wing it and see how it goes? Extroversion or introversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. And by the way, things like this, a lot of people say these don't change. Your personality type doesn't change. Well, I'm not so sure, or at least maybe at some deep level. You know, if you're more neurotic, you get upset easily, or feel irritated or sad, or if you're really needy, maybe at some deep level that is kind of a permanent part of you, maybe. But on a higher level, like application, oh, you can change that so much. I see all kinds of people who are like, they're needy and clingy, and I've helped a lot of people change that because it's based on deep underlying thoughts. And maybe people say you can't change because most don't know how to change the really deep things, but there are some ways I'll tell you about in other layers. And so really you can change a lot of this. Harm avoidance, novelty seeking, highly sensitive person, perfectionism, impulsivity. Those are some of the personality types. And then you can get into the personality traits, and there's also a finite list of these, more or less, but it's hundreds of items long. I put a couple hundred of them here in these pages, a few pages of 3 columns. And it's really fun to go through this list, and it's divided into like positive traits, neutral traits, and negative traits, which is kind of an overgeneralization because everyone has like upside and downside, but it's helpful to make the generalization. It's fun to go through that and just underline the ones like, that's me, identify with this, that, the other, and it really helps you, become more aware of who you are. It's cool. But remember, personality identity is not static, so also go through maybe with a different color and say, this is what I want to be. And then just give it a try. Find some ways to apply that and become that. Here's one really fun way. I remember I used to, like in Taiwan, sitting on the train platform waiting for my train, kind of some crowds around me, and it was cool living there. But I'd put in my music, turn it on, and then imagine I was in a movie. And suddenly everything was important. Because in a movie, they only put the elements in that move the plot along. So if there's some tall kid standing there, I'm like, is he gonna die? Is he the one that solves the murder mystery? Something like that. It kind of makes it interesting. So here's the point. You can try some of these on. So if you are not normally earnest or discreet or deep or good-natured or gracious or hearty or helpful, heroic, intelligent, intuitive, okay, intelligent might be hard to fake, optimistic, open, personable, protective, prudent, punctual, sexy, you can try this on. You can pretend you're in a movie. If you need to go to some other town, eat at some diner where nobody knows you, take a friend along to play along, make it fun. Just act like you're someone else. Try it on. Not only is it fun, not only does it give you some experience to draw on in case you want that to be more a permanent part of your personality, but you're probably used to being you, And it's kind of hard to imagine yourself perhaps being some other way. And if so, then going and acting differently, getting a little different experience, not only will you learn these new alternative options, ways to be, but you can look back and see how you were a little more clearly, and that really also helps free you up so you can change some more and realize you don't have to be just stuck in that. Let me read through some of the neutral traits. Ambitious, I think that's positive, right? But you see how it can be negative as well when you put ambition above caring about other people, for example. Amusing, that's awesome. Doesn't everyone love someone who makes them laugh? And yet some people are like class clowns and really not being genuine. They're just joking all the time, or sarcasm, right? That kind of drives a wedge between genuine connections. Chummy, complex, cute. Hard to see how that would be bad. Dreamy, driven, droll, high-spirited, idiosyncratic, impressionable, invisible, mystical, neutral, placid, political. Yeah, I can see how that can be positive or negative. Tough, soft, stylish, unpredictable. And then we get to the negative traits list. Abrasive, abrupt, agonizing, aloof, apathetic, cruel, cynical, cold, coarse, callous, boisterous, blunt. Sometimes blunt is awesome, right? But you can see why it probably lands on the negative list. Dirty, discontented, disobedient, dull, fanatical, fanciful, fickle, fiery, grim, inert, irascible, libidinous, petty, procrastinating, provocative, puritanical, reactionary, ruined, sanctimonious, tasteless, timid, vague, weak, wishful, and zany. So there's a few items from this list to help you figure out who you are on layer 6 personality, and explore not only who you are, but what you want to be, and become what you want, what's best for you, what makes you most satisfied and happy. Now, whenever I think about personality, I always think of these 3 questions. Number 1, who are you? We've explored that a little bit. Number 2, how did you become that? What, is it just something hardwired in your nature? Did it come with you, born with you in your spirit? Was it from events? Are you cautious because you've been burned before and you know better, you don't trust people? And that's an interesting and helpful question, but please don't get caught up in it. And especially do not get caught up in your stories. Well, I'm not going to trust anyone because people were mean to me when I was in 7th grade. That's everyone, almost everyone. They've probably had someone be mean to them. So and that may be true, maybe that is why you're cautious, but don't marry yourself to that story. Don't commit yourself to it because something happened once. It's true that when you're young, your parents, your siblings, your neighbors, your classmates, they all had a responsibility to be kind to you and help build up a foundation of confidence and self-love so that you could live healthy through the rest of your life. But if that didn't happen, and it doesn't happen to a lot of us, then it's too late. Well, it's too late for other people to teach you that. Even if people are nice to you now, it's probably not going to change the way you feel about others. They'd have to be really nice to you. Rather, it's up to you to change your own mind and to design the self that you want to be. It's on you. You've got to do it. So take some responsibility. And question 3 is, what can you do about it? There, I already talked about that. Change, have some new experiences. Make some choices in your life. Grow up. Have a little toughness. It's the only way. It's the only good way to live. Why would you do anything else? It's in your hands. It's your opportunity. So live smart, live happy, that whole thing. And subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.